Welcome back. We're cutting across live now to Amit Shah, who's reached at the public rally venue. This is going to be hugely significant for the BJP, as you're seeing not just top leaders of the Bengal BJP unit there with Amit Shah on stage, but several other leaders. We're hearing that about 10 MLAs from the TMC, the Congress and CPIM will be officially joining, will be inducted into the BJP. Shuvendu Adhikari, the strongman of Midnapore, is also going to be joining the BJP. He is there at that public rally. Besides that, several other senior leaders, and also we understand about 10,000 panchayat members will be joining the BJP in the presence of Amit Shah today. The BJP is hoping that this development that happens at this public rally as we speak in Midnapore will really change its fortunes, will ensure that it strengthens its ground presence in districts like Midnapore. Paulami Saha is joining us with more details on this. So Paulami, you've got Amit Shah there at that rally. Shuvendu Adhikari is seated right next to him. So his induction, it's clear, is going to happen any moment now. Besides that, several other leaders from the TMC, the Congress, the left, all of them seated behind Shah there. They'll be inducted too. This is a big moment for the BJP in the fight for Bengal.
Bharat Mata ke Amit Shah ji jindabad.
Apologies, we'll reconnect with Paulami in just a bit. But you see there, Amit Shah seated with Shuvendu Adhikari to his right. He is going to be formally inducted into the BJP. He quit the TMC just a few days ago. He's just also written a letter now to all of his supporters. He's in fact told them that neither West Bengal nor Trinamool Congress is anyone's fiefdom. The party was built in one day with the contribution of one person. So he's attacked the TMC, urged his supporters to now go ahead and join hands with him in this new fight, this new effort that he's taken up, as he's mentioned in his letter. He's in fact lashed out to the TMC, saying individuals currently in charge of the party are considering TMC their fiefdom. The party was not built by one person in one day. If anyone has this idea, they have no idea of the truth. That's a direct attack there at Mamata Banerjee. Shuvendu Adhikari also went on to state that the very people on the backs of whom the party was created are now being sidelined, are being humiliated and outcast. In this long letter that he's written, Shuvendu Adhikari has listed out all the reasons that he's chosen to leave the TMC. There you have the introduction of Shuvendu Adhikari. Amit Shah, all smiles there, applauding for Shuvendu. A bunch of other people also there are seen being inducted into the Bharatiya Janata Party. Over 10,000 panchayat members will be brought into the BJP fold today. This essentially will help the BJP in strengthening their ground presence in Bengal. Amit Shah, speaking to us just a bit earlier, had in fact expressed confidence that the BJP will sweep the elections in 2021. This particular development right now at this public rally is going to be, in a sense, huge for the BJP, because they're getting stronger. They're making the most of a rebellion that's brewing within the TMC, with several other MLAs besides Shuvendu Adhikari also all set to join the BJP. Besides the TMC, you've got people from the CPIM, the Congress, who are also all set to be inducted into the Bharatiya Janata Party. There's a reason Amit Shah is in Midnapore. Midnapore is the stronghold of Shuvendu Adhikari, someone who wanted his slice of the power pie in TMC but didn't get it, and that's why he's chosen to leave and instead join the BJP. And here's a photo op with Amit Shah there, and a garland, a saffron garland around him, and that's there Shuvendu Adhikari standing right next to Amit Shah all through this. And this is a photo op where the messaging is very, very clear. Shuvendu Adhikari is going to be given power in the BJP. What exactly will that translate to? What kind of opposition will that translate to remains to be seen, because the BJP does have its own sizable leaders within the party. But Shuvendu Adhikari will be seeking a key leadership role in the Bharatiya Janata Party. And looking at the kind of importance that they're giving him right now, the fact that Amit Shah is in Midnapore for his induction, the fact that he's seated right next to Amit Shah really shows the messaging that the BJP wants to put forward here, that Shuvendu Adhikari is now one of their own, and that he's going to be given the due that perhaps he did not get in the Trinamool Congress. Let me again read out for you some of the excerpts of Shuvendu's letter to his supporters, to people within the Trinamool Congress, saying that the reason he decided to leave is that people who created this party are now being sidelined, are being humiliated and being outcast. The party was not built by one person in one day. If anyone has this idea, they have no idea of the truth. Individuals currently in charge of the party are considering this as their fiefdom, and that's why it's particularly painful to see this happening, because it wasn't one person who built the Trinamool Congress. That is the attack there from Shuvendu Adhikari. Mukul Roy currently speaking. We're expecting Amit Shah will speak. Shuvendu Adhikari is also expected to make opening remarks where no doubt he's going to go all out against Mamata Banerjee, perhaps explain why he decided to take this call of leaving the Trinamool Congress and joining the BJP. Poulami Saha is with us. Poulami, the photo up here, very, very clear. You've got Shuvendu Adhikari flanking Amit Shah on his right all through this public rally. It's clear that his induction is complete. He is now a BJP man.
Oh, absolutely. You know, there was so much anticipation, Akshita, which was built to this very moment, because it just went back and forth for as long as you could remember, especially with Shuvendu Adhikari holding out, because he was constantly negotiating, from what we learned, with various parties on both sides. Individuals on both sides. He was in touch with Mr. Bijwargia, for instance, who is the Bengal BJP in charge primarily as far as his joining in the BJP was concerned. But then again, the Trinamool was constantly trying to woo him back as well. Shuvendu Adhikari, of course, took it step by step. He literally kept everyone hanging as to what his future course of action is going to be. We all knew from the start that he was expressing disgruntlement in state cabinet meetings. It was seemed like someone who was walking out of meetings and was not present in attendance most of the time. So that clearly sent out a message that Shuvendu Adhikari is disgruntled with the party. And then, of course, came that moment when he, of course, resigned as a minister in Mamata Banerjee's cabinet. He held the transport portfolio in her cabinet, and that, of course, was the first time that Shuvendu Adhikari was on his way out. This is just not some sort of a tantrum he's thrown, but he is looking at his options outside as well, and something he would have to decide on very quickly, because the elections are just 4 or 5 months away. And then, of course, came that meeting, that very crucial meeting that happens in a hotel in Kolkata with Prashant Kishore, Shaukatam Roy, and of course Abhishek Banerjee, Mamata Banerjee's nephew, present over there as well. That's very crucial, Akshita, because Abhishek Banerjee is one of those individuals that Shuvendu had a grudge against, a grievance. Most of the people who are, of course, eyeing growth in their profiles in the Trinamool Congress see Abhishek as a threat. People who worked really hard on the ground. Now, Shuvendu is someone who's been with Mamata Banerjee since her Nandigram struggle days in 2007. Shuvendu Adhikari is the architect of the TMC's agitation. The fact that Mamata Banerjee came into limelight, that final push that she got from Nandigram and Shingur as a political leader to oust the left government in West Bengal, the 34-year rule of the left government in 2011, that came from these two agitations where farmers were basically taking on big corporates who were allegedly taking their land away. In Shingur, we knew it was the Tata Nano factory which was stopped because farmers agitated their land being taken away, and Mamata was at the forefront of it. In Nandigram, it was Shuvendu Adhikari who basically organized that entire struggle for Mamata. Mamata was so impressed with Shuvendu Adhikari eventually that she, of course, gave him a very key position in the party. She brought him closer to her in terms of, seeking his advice and, of course, looking to him for management on various things. And then, of course, came that moment in 2011 as well when the Trinamool government came to power. Shuvendu Adhikari had, in fact, become a Lok Sabha member of parliament. He was a Lok Sabha member of parliament until the 2016 election. So he became a Lok Sabha member of parliament in the year 2009 and then in 2014 as well. But in 2016, when the state assembly elections happened in West Bengal, Mamata decided to bring Shuvendu back from Delhi into her state cabinet. She wanted Shuvendu by her side. So he resigned as a member of parliament from Tamluk constituency, and he joined as a council member in Mamata's state cabinet. His constituency was then won in the by-polls, in the Lok Sabha by-polls, by his brother Suvendu. So clearly, Shuvendu has had a very long journey in the Trinamool Congress, very crucial a journey and very significant. He's almost said to be someone who is as powerful, if not more, definitely not more, Akshita, but definitely on par with someone like a Mukul Roy and the kind of clout that Mukul Roy held in the party until, of course, he quit the party in 2017.
Yes.
Shuvendu is someone who has enough influence in the region that I stand right now, in the Midnapore districts, both east and west. This has been with the Adhikari family, these districts, undivided Midnapore, if you may, have been with the Adhikaris for at least 3 to 4 decades, earlier with the father of Shuvendu Adhikari, Shishir Adhikari, who interestingly continues to be an MP of the Trinamool Congress.
So considering, Paulami, considering that several of the family members are still in the Trinamool Congress, will Shuvendu's exit really mean bad news, really spell bad news for the TMC? He's already put out a letter. You know, till now he was very, very quiet about what his next move is, why he decided to quit the TMC. He's laid it bare now. In that letter, he's spoken about how one person seems to think that the party is their fiefdom, saying that the TMC was built by more than just one person, and yet all of us who built the Trinamool Congress have been sidelined and humiliated. With him coming out to say this and appealing to his supporters to join him in his new movement, in his new mission, does it look like there will be more dissent, there will be more rebellions within the TMC?
Oh, absolutely. There will be more defections from the TMC because Shuvendu has a lot of clout, like I said, in this region. So there are a lot of block-level leaders who will, of course, join Shuvendu. Like I said, and we've been speaking since the morning about this, there are at least 4 districts that Shuvendu has considerable influence in, which includes, of course, West and East Midnapore, and then, of course, Purulia and Bankura districts of West Bengal. Now, this is extremely crucial. And then there are pockets. There are pockets of, like, Murshidabad, for instance, where Shuvendu holds some amount of influence over the Muslim vote bank over there as well. And because of that, for the kind of hold he had over that Muslim vote bank in, say, a Murshidabad district from where Adhir Chaudhary of the Congress party hails, the Congress also approached Shuvendu, Akshita, in order to bring him on board. At the time that news floated that Shuvendu is disgruntled and is looking for a way out of the TMC and is now in the market exploring options, Adhir Chaudhary, we learned from our sources, approached Shuvendu because the kind of clout and influence he has over that Muslim vote bank in Adhir's own constituency of Murshidabad, Adhir didn't want to let this powerful man go by without giving it a shot. It wasn't the Congress party, from what we understand from our sources. It was Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary on his own who tried to do a one-man job, where he tried to, of course, bring Shuvendu on board. That didn't happen because probably Shuvendu Adhikari was looking for something more lucrative on offer, and that is what the BJP has eventually offered him. We do not know the details because we do know for a fact that Shuvendu did hard bargain. He was not satisfied and just being promised something at the level of Kailash Vijaywargiya. He was insisting on meeting Mr. Amit Shah prior to this rally today. There was a lot of rumor that happened and buzz that happened, Akshita, over the past couple of days. The Shuvendu Adhikari was, in fact, after resigning as a legislator from the assembly, was going to fly down to Delhi and meet Mr. Shah in Delhi before Mr. Shah came to Bengal and this Midnapore rally happened, where he was formally inducted into the party because he was not satisfied only dealing at the level of Mr. Kailash Vijaywargiya. He wanted assurances right from the top. But that, of course, we're not very sure now if it was just a buzz that floated around or it was something that Shuvendu was, in fact, considering because, unfortunately, for the media, Akshita, the problem has been that Shuvendu Adhikari has gone incognito, almost. He hasn't spoken with the media. He is unreachable. His phone is switched off. This has been happening over the last couple of days. He's been, sort of dashing from one location to the other.
Paulami, my apologies for interrupting. I just want to highlight here what we're seeing on our screens. You've got Shuvendu Adhikari symbolically holding up the flag of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and with that his induction is complete. Also seeking the blessings of Amit Shah. Right next to him there, Amit Shah, all smiles, hugging Shuvendu Adhikari as he holds up the BJP flag high. This is a moment that the BJP will be very, very happy about. A photo op that could perhaps really change BJP's fortunes in Bengal. You never know what really kind of influence Shuvendu brings around, especially considering in Midnapore district, that's his bastion. what really this will translate to for the BJP. But the induction is complete. There's Shuvendu Adhikari standing right next to Amit Shah, holding up the flag of the Bharatiya Janata Party, hugged by Amit Shah, sought his blessings there. He is now a BJP man. He's just written a letter also to all his supporters, asking them to join him in his new movement, lashing out to the TMC, saying that that's not a party, that's about one person. Unfortunately, that's what it's considered to be now, and that's why he decided to leave. It's not just Shuvendu Adhikari, but a slew of other legislators from the TMC, the Congress and CPIM who are joining the BJP today. And that's why Amit Shah all smiles there as the BJP flag is being passed around to all the people who have gathered on that stage with the Home Minister. Important to also highlight here that with Shuvendu Adhikari joining the BJP, the Bharatiya Janata Party and Amit Shah will be hoping that many more also follow suit, because we have been seeing a slew of rebellions hitting the Trinamool Congress, many leaders speaking out against the leadership, many leaders speaking out against Mamata Banerjee, and the BJP will be hoping that translates into more defections, that translates into more people joining the Bharatiya Janata Party. Polami, my apologies for cutting you off earlier, but now Shuvendu Adhikari very much a part of the BJP. These pictures will have the TMC worried.
Oh, absolutely. These pictures will have the TMC worried. Of course, they will hold a press conference a little later today in an hour's time at about 4 p.m. in Kolkata, and they will, of course, dismiss this as not a big blow, clearly. But the fact is that from anyone who assesses the Bengal situation, anyone who has analyzed the situation, known of the politics here, and Shuvendu Adhikari standing in the politics of West Bengal, knows that this is no insignificant blow. This is definitely something which will rattle Mamata Banerjee and the TMC, and they will have to course correct from here on in terms of understanding the losses that they've incurred as a result of Shuvendu Adhikari defecting to the BJP, because like we've been talking, Akshita, it's not just Shuvendu Adhikari going, it's a lot of other people who will go with him. He's taking the organization of the TMC in Midnapore with him to the BJP. Now that's huge. If you look at the landscape over here in Jungle Mahal of West Bengal, where I stand right now, that is significant. So hence the BJP, I beg your pardon, the TMC will be holding a meeting over here in a few days from now in order to assess their losses, in order to understand how many of those who still claim to be within the TMC could turn court any moment from now and are waiting just for the right opportunity, or Shuvendu Adhikari to signal to them to defect over immediately. So they're going to try and see if there are any more quote-unquote traitors within the party who are going to defect to the BJP. But yes, aside from that, they will have to understand that the damage has been done. They couldn't bring Shuvendu Adhikari back despite having a meeting with him. The fact is his grievances were not addressed as he might want you to believe, but then obviously TMC will have its own version of events as well. But like Mamata Banerjee alleged in that rally that she addressed just a few days ago in Cooch Behar, she said that everyone who is, of course, defecting over to various parties is only doing so because they care about themselves and they do not care about the party. This is them looking to just make some money, because she alleged, of course, that the BJP is wooing them over with money. And these are people who are opportunists, basically, who are, of course, defecting, because right now, when the time has come for the party to again fight a battle like it did in 2011, these are people who are looking for a way out and for a comfortable, situation for themselves, win or loss. Already they want to negotiate with the BJP a comfortable deal for themselves before even they've contested the elections, and hence the TMC's allegations that they're thinking about themselves first and the party last, Akshita.
What we're also picking up at this point, Polami, is that there are about 6 TMC MLAs who are going to be joining the BJP. Besides Shuvendu Adhikari, there's also TMC MP Sunil Mondal who will be joining the BJP. What really does that mean for the Bharatiya Janata Party? Is he another very important leader of the TMC?
Yes, as far as Sunil Mondal is concerned, he's a member of parliament from the TMC. He might not have the same kind of, influence or clout that we're talking about, but every little defection, he's an MP, Akshita, no less. Every little defection, is if not a significant blow in its concrete terms, it is definitely a blow in terms of perception. Here, it looks like there has been some sort of an exodus out of the TMC, or for that matter, the CPM and the Congress. But yes, the battle we are watching in Bengal is between the BJP and the Congress. And today, just today, if you look at it, we're looking at BJP coming out with an upper hand over the TMC. And that is what they are projecting today. They are on a stronger wicket today because of these defections. But yes, we cannot predict what is going to happen next, given that the elections are still about 4 to 5 months away. And Mamata Banerjee is yet to hit the streets with her campaign, which is expected to begin in January. And given the history of the TMC and the Mamata Banerjee, it's almost like a BJP phenomenon. You eventually bank on your star mascot, which is Narendra Modi. In TMC, you eventually will bank on your star mascot, Mamata Banerjee, and if she is able to get through to the people, Akshita.
Right, Paulami, here we're looking at Amit Shah in West Bengal. It's going to be quite a pompous affair, it appears, at least by the crowds of it. What do you pick up with the fact that thousands of them, a sea of supporters, have gathered together? Does it look like this time around the BJP would manage to make sure inroads into West Bengal, unlike the last time where it was a near miss?
Well, it's too early to say anything, Nabila, at the moment. But the fact is that, the BJP is definitely building ground and is working very aggressively towards that goal. It is a very ambitious target that they've set themselves. They have the MLAs only in the 2 digits. It's only about 16 odd MLAs, but you're looking at a target of 200 plus in an assembly of 294. That's a very ambitious and a steep target that the BJP has set itself. But Amit Shah, in the interview that he just gave us a short while ago, he's very confident that the target is achievable. Now, whether that's confidence, whether that's overconfidence, we'll find out very, very soon. But the BJP is going to fight tooth and nail as far as this election is concerned. It is in the game to win. It is going to pull out all its big guns, as far as the election campaign is concerned. Obviously, the star mascot will be Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who will eventually, enter the race in the penultimate stages of the race, if you may. But as far as Mr. Amit Shah is concerned, Mr. JP Nadda are concerned, they've already been in Bengal. They've hit the ground running already, and they'll keep coming back. This is not the first or the last tour of Mr. Amit Shah to the state of West Bengal. He will keep coming back and building momentum. And he is doing what he's known to do best, which is build the organization. That has always been his standout point, his USP, build the organization from the grassroots level, which is what he did for the Bharatiya Janata Party when he took charge as national president after the win of 2014. That's exactly what he's doing in West Bengal as well. He's very closely monitoring with Mr. JP Nadda all the developments over here. He set up a core committee of ministers, some central, some state ministers like Gajendra Singh Shekhawat, Mansukh Mandavia, Prahlad Patel, Sanjeev Balyan, and then, of course, Madhya Pradesh Home Minister Narottam Mishra, and, of course, the Deputy Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, Keshav Prasad Maurya, who is in West Bengal today. All of these ministers have been asked and tasked to basically go around. They've been given about 6 or 7 Lok Sabha constituencies each. There are 42 Lok Sabha constituencies in West Bengal. These constituencies have been divided in clusters of 6 and 7 between these.
Paulami, do stay with us. We're quickly cutting across to Shuvendu Adhikari, who speaks